All right, guys, so we have a really weird update that I want to talk about. I'm filming from at home today. Saints are going to be playing tomorrow in Los Angeles. I'll get into some updates around there as well, but I want to talk about this Jimmy Graham situation because it's just weird. I'm not really exactly sure what to make of it. I'm going to be 100% transparent with you guys. The reports are weird. So, timeline of the day, TMZ this morning drops a report that Jimmy Graham was arrested last night. The report was that the cops were saying Graham was wandering in traffic, and law enforcement responded to the call for a suspicious person acting erratically near a Southern California resort. At the scene, cops claim they witnessed Graham walking in the streets and they attempted to arrest him, but he resisted. So even when I saw this report come in this morning, I thought it was weird. Something seemed fishy about this. And the New Orleans Saints, they recently released a statement. I'm going to read you that statement right now. So if I'm looking over here, just don't mind me. I'm looking at some notes. Just want to make sure I'm getting the information correct with this kind of thing, because with one of these stories, it's weird, and I don't want to speculate and say something that's inappropriate or incorrect. So bear with me as I look at these notes. But here's the statement from the New Orleans Saints for immediate release this morning. The New Orleans Saints tight end Jimmy Graham experienced a medical episode last evening, which resulted in him becoming disoriented. He was taken into custody by local authorities and transported to a local hospital for evaluation by what Dr. John Amos believes, who is the team doctor, by the way. Dr. John Amos believes to be a likely seizure and spent the night under medical supervision and testing. Amos met Graham at the hospital and is overseeing his care at this time. He was released this morning and is with the team as they continue preparations for Sunday's game against the Los Angeles Chargers. So that's the statement. That's the story around this Jimmy Graham thing. It's really weird. Obviously, the Saints brought in Jimmy Graham in free agency a couple weeks, or about a couple weeks ago, a month or two ago. About a month ago, excuse me. And it was tight end is a position in need for the Saints, and Jimmy Graham bringing him in addressed a slight position in need, just with depth there with Juwan Johnson, Foster Moreau, Lucas Kroll being a UDFA out of last year's class. So bringing in Jimmy Graham in terms of a fit, it made some sense to the Saints, as well as the fact that he's a good red zone threat. He can still catch the ball. Everything we've seen out of training camp and out of the preseason so far has been pretty positive. So this whole thing, I'm just not entirely sure what to make of it. Like, the TMZ report saying that he was arrested, but not really many details in the report. Then you get the statement from the Saints saying that, well, he was disoriented. He was having likely a seizure. It's just a strange situation. So I want to take a second and just show some love to Jimmy Graham in this time. Obviously, if there was legal issues, if there was an arrest involved, and depending on how that all transpires, that's unfortunate for sure. But if there's a medical issue, of course we want to show him some love, and we want to wish him good health and a speedy recovery from whatever's going on. But this whole situation's weird, guys. If you're not really sure what to make of it, just get in the comments and let me know your thoughts. I'm not entirely sure what to make of this. My one-word reaction to this is confused. So let me know your one-word reaction. What do you guys think of this? You're going to get hit with a YouTube ad break here, so let me know what you think down in the comment section, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this situation in the game as soon as the YouTube ad break is done. All right, so I want to talk about the game this Sunday. So as we know, I put a video out on the Shorts tab earlier today. Hurricane Hillary is surging through, or it's on its way to Los Angeles as we speak. And I find it really interesting that when the Saints and Chargers game is set for tomorrow night, and you have a natural disaster en route, why would you not move it? The MLB and the MLS have already moved their games. They've already canceled, moved them up, postponed, whatever. They've moved them around. Roger Goodell, on the other hand, is not doing that. And I'm not, like, it's insane to me. It's insane. It's asinine for the safety of the players, for coaches, for staff, refs, media personnel, fans. Like, it doesn't make any sense to keep this game in the time slot it is tomorrow night. So why they can't move it up, a handful of hours earlier makes no sense. It's weird. It's really weird that they're not moving it up, but the Saints will be playing the Chargers tomorrow. I know that we put the video out earlier, and there was reports that maybe the game could be postponed. It could be moved up. It could just be canceled entirely. But the reports coming in from Nick Underhill today, the Saints game is staying on schedule. So with that, are we going to see Jimmy Graham? I don't know. We didn't see him a ton in the preseason week 1 game against the Chiefs, but he did still get some activity on the field. And I think for a player like Jimmy Graham, who did not play last season, it's really important for him to be able to go out and get reps. He obviously missed last year. He wasn't on a team. There wasn't an injury issue. There wasn't any problem. He just was doing his thing. The Saints gave him a call. He's back in the NFL and he's ready to go. He never retired or anything, but with a guy like Jimmy Graham, I think that it makes way too much sense in the world to give him as many reps as possible in order to readjust to the New Orleans Saints that he didn't play with or play against, quite frankly. Like I said, this is just a weird situation, and I'm not entirely sure what to make of it outside of what we know. And what we do know is what the statement from the New Orleans Saints was. Dr. John Amos believes it was likely a seizure. And again, I don't want to speculate on what else could have happened. I wasn't there. I wasn't next to Jimmy Graham when this was going down. But the whole situation is weird. And before we wrap up today's show and I get into some final thoughts, I want to encourage you guys to subscribe. We will be live tomorrow for the Saints versus Chargers preseason game. We're going to have a 30-minute pregame tailgate, pregame show, live play-by-play throughout the entire game. And on top of that, we bring you Saints news, rumors, updates, all sorts of coverage. I'm a diehard Saints fan. You can see it on my shirt. I know there's the Razorbacks thing, but hey, went to college there. But diehard Saints fan until the day that I die. So I encourage you to subscribe if you haven't already. But so just some final thoughts on this, guys. I mean, what more could you ask for? Like what, or not what more could you ask for, but what more information could we get? It's tough because you see a lot of these journalists and you see a lot of these media people who cover the Saints and work for ESPN or work for NFL Network or whoever that the outlet they work with is, and they're all reporting the exact same thing. Jimmy Graham, there was some sort of situation, but there was a medical episode involved. So depending on how things transpire, we're going to keep this refresh every few minutes on social media. I'm going to keep all of my sources and all of my people. I'm going to be on top of this. I'm going to be asking everybody what they know. So next time we get an update, I'll make a video for you guys. I wish I could give more information, but I really just did not want to speculate. I didn't want to be disrespectful towards the situation, whatever the entire story is. But yeah, Jimmy Graham arrested on suspicion of being under the influence of a controlled substance. That's per TMZ. It's a weird situation. Obviously, health-wise, wish nothing but the best for Jimmy Graham. But like I said, as soon as we get more updates, we'll keep you guys informed. So if you haven't already, subscribe. There will also be 2 videos right here. I would encourage you to check those ones out. There's a little middle icon right here. You can click that to subscribe as well. So if you haven't already, please tune into our next video, join our watch party tomorrow, and be sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications. That way you don't miss a thing around this insane, weird, unfortunate situation.